Today I'm showing you several top tips to help you beat Ruthless, Substantial, and PVE in general. First top tip we have is dodging and rolling. Characters that can infinitely roll can basically dodge almost all damage. You're not truly invincible, you're just limiting the amount of frames where you'll get hit. Characters that dodge and then roll can do this as well, they just don't do it as effectively as characters that can infinitely roll. Moving on, as you can see, we have a massive enemy wave. Another tip is that for most sections in the game, if you get a horde, massive horde, extreme enemy, you can actually skip those enemies simply by progressing to the next checkpoint. Granted, the entire team will need to reach the checkpoint, and all enemies will need to be out of the checkpoint area in order to skip the section. Our next tip is basic, but it is a big one that the game does not tell you anything about. Make sure your melee weapon is fencing. Block does not allow you to parry. Balance allows you to parry, but fencing allows you to parry and gives you the largest window. I believe 10% larger than balance. It's not crazy, but if you're not parrying 90% plus on balance, then yes, you want fencing. Next, I'm going to be showing you something that I consider the most broken thing in the game, but it is something that you must know, and that is that you can parry at any point in time. Any animation that you're doing, as you saw right there, you can stop and hit parry and parry. Now, that is not the same with dodge. As you'll see right here, I melee, and he does the red attack at the same time. There is no chance I am screwed. I can't stop. Now, if you're doing nothing, then you can dodge and get the perfect dodge. And it's not even getting the perfect dodge. It's you can't dodge at all. You will get hit if you're doing anything roughly when they're doing a red attack. So be very advised of that. Next, we have parrying little dudes and baiting them into the parry as well. So this is a huge part of keeping your armor up. Pretty much to bait them into the parry, just shoot once or melee once and then parry. Just keep switching back and forth, and a lot of times, almost all times, you'll bait the parry. Next, we have learning item locations like armory point locations, gene seed, relic, locations that are more likely to spawn health items, box locations in general. Most sections have a clear path that's better going left or going right. Generally, going both ways and killing all enemies in a section will grant you a bonus reward of either a horde or a massive horde. So knowing where the best items are and choosing one way to go in each section is much preferred. I also have a playlist on my channel where you can get all the armory point, gene seed, and relic locations for the current 6 maps. I'll have the DLCs when those come out, but definitely knowing the item locations does allow you to progress each section faster, limiting how many hordes you will get. Next, we kind of have 2 tips in one, and that's kind of knowing when to use your RB. And generally, the only time you'll ever want to use 3 is when you have only minions and no elites. Any majors, extremes, anything in the mix, don't be using your 3 move anymore. Now at most you should be using 1, and be very careful because you're leaving yourself open to a red attack. Also, as you can see right here, we also are keeping our armor up. So you got to learn the best ways for your classes to keep your armor up, what moves will grant you gun strikes, and always be looking for the parry when you get really low on armor or have low armor. Try to bait the parry from the little dudes. Lastly, I have one more thing for you, which is not really a tip and more of an advisory. This is why I have this on repeat at the moment, just so you can see exactly at 2 armor bars what happened. I only clipped this once. It's happened probably a few times over many hours. It doesn't happen often, but it's just something to know that out of nowhere you can catch this mystery explosion that basically kills you. Also, there's still a problem with snipers hitting you in the back and you having no indication that there is an incoming attack, so you don't know to dodge. So the game does still need a little bit of work at the moment if you're still experiencing these issues, but at the moment want to let you know that it still is not perfect, still a work in progress. As I mentioned with the dodge before, are a couple of issues, but there are several tips for you right there to help you improve your skill and start beating substantial and ruthless difficulty. If you like the video, leave a like, comment, share. It helps others find the video. I hope this helped.